you can find me on Instagram at Back Porch Fiber Co. You can find me on YouTube right here. And you can also find me on Etsy at Back Porch Fiber Co. as well. That seemed a lot harder to get through than normal. I don't know. It is so hot, you guys, here. It is supposed to be like 105 degrees today. We were working out in the garage. We're trying to have a garage sale today, but then everybody was just gone like this morning, and I just don't think it's very safe to just have one like by myself. So I chose not to do that. But anyway, so it is hot. I feel like I'm just sweating here in front of y'all, so my apologies. But yeah, you know, a little candid honesty there for you guys. So if it looks like I'm, you know, a little bit sweaty in the face, that's why. It's a hot day today, 105. Okay, so you're gonna hear the air conditioning going, but like our house can just not quite keep up today. So it just is what it is. But I had like 30 minutes, so let's go. Okay. We're gonna first just jump right in with finished objects because as you can see, I am wearing my finished object. This is the Wyethia tee from Jessica McDonald, Jess Camnitz. I forget what but it's her name is Jessica McDonald. I'll put all the info down below in the description like I always do. But this, oh, I love this t-shirt. This is actually the third day that I have worn it, and I think that I finished it like 4 days ago. So it's a phenomenal addition to my wardrobe. I absolutely love it. I love like literally everything about this. So I wanted to go in, I chatted on my Instagram, or I said on my Instagram that I was going to go in and share the modifications that I made of the sweater. So I want to do that really quick with you guys. I made it was a 40-inch t-shirt. I can't remember which size that is, like what that equates to, but it was the 40-inch one. And I will also pop in a video of just so you can have a better shot. I'm just not like in a position where I can really stand up, and it's not gonna be super helpful to see what I'm wearing, like the whole lacy bottom and everything, but I will pop in a video for you guys of all of that as well. The modifications and all of that I did with this t-shirt, because I will definitely be making one again, and there's only one small little thing that I would change for the next one. So let's just start off with the yarn. The yarn is Knitting for Olive in the soft blue colorway. It is their cotton merino blend. So it's 70% cotton, 30% merino, and it's not a super wash merino, it's just a merino. And the drape on here fits this pattern perfectly. Like I could not ask for a better fit. The weight of the yarn is super light. It's very easy to work with, especially in the summertime when you're just a little bit more clammy. I actually took this project to Hawaii with me, and it's humid in Hawaii, but I had no issue working on it because of the cotton content in this yarn. So like when the next time that I knit this tee, which I'm going to be knitting another one, I will use the same brand yarn. I'll just pick a different color. But I love the soft blue color. I feel like it is a good complement to my skin tone, my eyes, hair, all of that. I just love it. Like I just feel like I finally knocked this one out of the park in the garment realm, because a lot of the times like I'll make a garment and it just won't quite fit right, or the sleeves will be too tight or too loose, or I don't know, or like the bind off will be a little bit different, or too tight, and I have to redo it. I just don't feel like I've had an all-out success in a little while. So this to me was my all-out success. It didn't come with a little bit of question at the beginning. So when I was doing my gauge swatch, I was pretty much right on with a 3 and a 4. Like, it was like half a stitch either way kind of thing. And so I went down a needle size to a size 3. I think the pattern calls for a 4. So that's one modification that I did make, was I did a size US 3 needle. But when I started knitting it, it just felt like it was going to be ginormous on me. Now there is supposed to be a lot of positive ease. So I can't remember, I want to say it was like 4 to 8, 4 to 9 inches of positive ease. I can't remember exactly. I have about 4 inches of positive ease, maybe a little bit more. But it's worked bottom up. And so when you're working from the bottom up, what I have found, and I've not really found this before, but in the t-shirt, I just was feeling it a little bit more. It seems huge when you first start it, but then as you work up, it doesn't seem as big anymore. It was really strange, but there came a point where I was trying to decide, should I start over and do a different size, a smaller size, or should I keep going? And so what I did, and this was really helpful, it gave me confidence, I laid out on my bed a t-shirt that just fit me great. I liked the oversize of it. I liked the like the cropped, well, it's not really cropped, like just where it hit me on my waist. It's a top that I love. And I measured, I laid it out, I added another needle to the to my knitting, and so I was able to like lay it out flat and up against this other t-shirt that I have, and it was spot on actually. So what seemed like was going to be huge on me, actually once I put it up to that other garment in its entirety, it took that scare away from me. So, and I just kept going, and I am so glad that I did, because like I said, I love this size. I love the drape, the little bit of oversize, but it's not like falling off of my shoulders or anything like that. So size 3 US needle was a modification. Let's see, another modification was the sleeves. Now in the pattern, she does say like do either a stockinette sleeve or a 1x1 ribbed sleeve. And the deciding factor for that is what type of yarn you're using. And since mine was a plant-based and a wool-based, so there's protein and plant-based yarn, I wasn't too sure how just the stockinette sleeve would go. But I chose to do the 1x1 ribbing, and as I was doing the 1x1 ribbing, I fell in love with it. Great decision. And I switched up the bind off. Instead of just doing a regular bind off, like a loose bind off, I did a tubular bind off, and I used the Blue Mouse Knits tutorial on her tubular bind off. It was super easy to follow. She gave really great instructions in like kind of what you're doing and why you're doing it, which always helps me to learn and not just have to watch the video for the entire time. But I love how the sleeve lays on me. It's not puckering in because I bound off too tightly or anything, and I feel like the tubular bind off really did that for me. So I love the tubular bind off, the 1x1 ribbing, and like look at, that's the sleeve. It's like an inch. That's it. So like it all just came together really, really easy for me. And the other thing that I loved about this pattern is that when I picked up for the sleeves, I always count, like, okay, at the halfway mark, how many stitches do I have? And then on the back side, how many stitches do I have? Because I want to mimic that on the other sleeve and make sure that everything is symmetrical. I don't know if that bugs you guys, but it kind of bugs me. I would count my rows up the back, up the front, on each side to make sure that everything fit just perfectly, and it did. So I definitely would recommend, if you're like that, to take notes of like row count as you're working through the decreases in the back and the front and the right and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. So when I was picking up for the sleeves, for these little tiny sleeves, The instruction, I love how Jessica gave the instructions for that. It very simple, but it was effective and precise. And my stitch count for both sleeves was spot on. And there wasn't any, you know, this like, oh, I gotta fit 3 more stitches in this little tiny space. It was none of that. I didn't have to redo it at all. Like, it just all fit super, super great. And the stitch count is like, it was perfect for this garment as well. So I just love the pattern. The pattern was so fun. The little lace detail down on the hem was like, it was just so engaging but methodical all at the same time, because again, the instructions are just so good. And then the only thing that I would change next time is I would make it about 1 inch longer, just because I'm self-conscious. It hits me fine. Like, I did make it, I think I did 12 inches from underarm to hem, and the pattern gave you like 2 different, if you wanted it cropped, it was this number. If you wanted it longer, it was this number. And I kind of went in between those a little bit. And I like it. I like where it is, but I'm just so self-conscious about showing my stomach and my midsection that I would probably go just maybe another inch or so. And that's it. But I do love the look of it. I love this pattern. The neckline, there's an optional I-cord edging, and I thought, you know, again, it was plant-based versus protein-based, and whether or not it would lay correctly, but I did not do the I-cord edging like she suggested for the plant-based fibers. I just loved how it looked, and I was playing that one by ear. I just kind of was thinking, like, if it lays great and it works out good, I'm not going to do anything else. And I love the way that the V-neck looks. I love the little finish, which is like nothing. It just turned out this way in how you knit the pattern. My stepmom came in and she was looking at it and she's like, oh, like the neckline is just so gorgeous. How did you do that? And I'm like, I didn't. Like, it was just all in the pattern. It really just turned out that great. So thank you, Jessica, for writing a phenomenal pattern. It's so fun, amazing. Yes. Okay, next finished object. It's a big one. I started this, I think November 1st, on my way to Texas. And it is a winter knit, 100%, but like this, finishing my Wyethia gave me motivation to finish this one here. And I was literally out at the pool. It was like 95 degrees, so hot, out at the pool with my son. And I'm like, I'm doing this. And it's a woolly wool. So my hands and the wool were sticking and sweaty all together. It was great, but I finished it. This is the Starfall pullover. You'll see it, all of my ends are woven in, but I just need to go back and clip them. I leave about an inch or so while it's blocking, but these ends it's a sticky enough yarn, they'll grab onto each other, so I'm not worried about it. So this is my Starfall pullover by Jennifer Steingass. When I blocked this, as soon as I put it in the water, the colors just like exploded. It was the coolest thing. I love the color work on this. The yarn is Drops Sky yarn. It fluffed up. I just love this project. But it has, you work it bottom up. So again, this is another bottom up sweater, but this one didn't have that same effect of feeling huge, maybe because of the garment type, I'm not sure. But it has this little color work detail here on the bottom. And then same with the sleeves. And then all this gorgeous color work up at the top. The yoke fits perfect. The only thing that I would change about this, and I may go up a size if I knit it again. I do feel like my color work is, like it doesn't pucker in, so I feel like I did good there. I'm not super proficient on color work, so I was pretty excited when it all worked out and wasn't puckered up. But the only thing that I would change is I would start off with a larger cuff for my wrist. It's not too tight because of the type of yarn, but I just like a looser cuff around my wrist. So I think to combat that, what I would do, because it is a color work, and you start here and work up, and then you add the sleeves on to the garment. I think what I would do instead is maybe work this in a size larger, but then modify my increases to end up in the same, with the same amount of stitches when you get up here. So I would just stop my increases sooner, basically. Or I may even just figure out what the stitch count and then just kind of do an even amount of rows in between. I don't know. If I were to do it again, that's what I would do. And I would also keep that in mind the next time I do a color work sweater like this. But I love this. I love the yarn, and I had a ton of yarn left over, so I feel like I need to do something else with this. I have a lot of patterns from Jessica Cam Knits that, or Jessica McDonald. Jessica Cam, I think, is her designer name. I'm not sure. But I have a lot of color work hats, and so I may, maybe I'll do some color, like a color work hat with this for gifts or something. But I love this sweater, you guys. It's amazing. Okay, those are my finished objects. 2 huge ones. Yeah. That's it, you guys. We're gonna move on. My works in progress. I don't really feel like I have a ton of works in progress. The only thing that I'm gonna share right now, so I do have stuff, but I haven't, like, I don't have progress on them really because I've been working on these other 2 projects. So there's really not much to like write home about. But the thing that I am going to show you guys is I just started this last night. It is these little woodland creatures. They're so cute. This is for my niece. She's having a baby and her nursery is woodland themed. So I am making these for her. I am using the Sheep G's yarn, and I showed all of the yarn in my previous podcast. If you want more details on that, I'll put details down below, but if you want like details, that's where you would find it. It's on that last podcast. So I am working on this little fawn is what I am working on. Let's see, where is he at? I think he's number 2. Yeah, he's this guy here. This is what I'm working on right there. So I've made the head, and I am just started the body, but I just did this last night, and I'm not efficient enough with amigurumi to not have to kind of just start fully over when I start a project, unless I'm like doing it a lot. So I got to go back and watch the videos and see how they do their increases and their decreases and all of that, because there's many different ways to do it, but I have kind of decided on a way to do it. What I did do this time though is in the notes, I took notes of how I did everything. And there's a little bit of it, like there's a different way to do the increases for your circles also, so that it is more circular instead of a pentagon, basically. Yeah, so this is where I'm at with this. I'm hoping to get the fawn done tonight, at least like the body pieces of it, but I'm holding this double. It doesn't really seem like the pattern tells me to hold it double. I just liked the look of it a little bit better. And that's kind of what you do for amigurumi. If you want a larger version of something, then you use larger yarn. That's just kind of how it works a lot of the times. So I remember this one book that I was looking at, and it said like if you want a small bear, you use fingering weight yarn. If you know, and then it showed like the different sizes of the bear depending on which yarn and hook they used. So this is an amigurumi project. Super excited about that, and that's all that I have on that, but I am going to go see her in August, mid-August, so I kind of feel like I should probably get started on that. Even if I don't have them all, I could have at least something to give her. And then the other kind of works in progress that I wanted to share with you guys are my Christmas in July updates. And I'm going to be also drawing a winner for 2 prizes because I wanted to give a prize out last week, and car troubles and all kinds of weird things that kind of came up just didn't happen. So I'm going to draw 2 prizes this week, and I will go over those prizes with you. But first, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on where I'm at with my Christmas in July. So I brought my first project with me to Hawaii. It's this little guy here. It's from Luminaris. Again, I go over this in my last podcast as well. But let me show you where I've gotten. So there are 3 Christmas tree ornaments, and each one you have to do a front and a back, which I didn't realize at first. It's not a big deal, but I just didn't realize it. So the other thing that I didn't realize is that there were light blue and dark blue ornaments, and I didn't space them out very well, but I really don't care. So I have all 6 of these little guys here done with the ornaments on. And then I just started to add on the light string in this dark green, but this is as far as I've gotten there. So I still have a lot to go on these, but it is going pretty quick. I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to have enough yarn, or not yarn, but embroidery floss, and it came in a kit, but I have just this much left out of this yellow, and this is what I use to applique them all together. So I'm a little bit worried about this. Like, look at how cute these are. I think I have a picture of kind of how it all came too, so I will put that in here also, because it was so cute how it was all came and put together. And I do recommend this kit. The other frustration that I had with it was the instructions said to follow the picture for ornament placing, but look at, like, there's so many ornaments that aren't shown. So I just kind of had to lay it all out and place them, but that's it. Okay, so my next Christmas in July project that I am working on is the stocking, and this is the stocking. I tell all about the stocking in my last podcast, so you can find out all the info there. So what I do, and it is advised not to do this, but the way that I do it, I find it a lot more simpler. So the instructions specifically say with these kits, do not pre-cut every piece beforehand. And the reason for that is because every piece is numbered, and every piece is numbered on the outside of the piece. So if you cut out each piece, like fully cut it out, then you wouldn't know what numbers they were. But what I do is I do a rough cut of them, leaving all the numbers intact. Like this is number 11, number 12, but then I put them in number order, so then I'm not having to look through all of these large felt pieces for the next one. I've found that technique works really good for me. So if you're working on something like this, I totally recommend doing that, but just make sure that you keep those numbers on each piece. And when I say the numbers, I mean like this 11 and the 12, because there's other numbers on the piece but that is where like the number 52 will hit right there, So I just do a super rough cut of all of my pieces, and then I put them in number order in a little baggie, so I can just pull that top next piece. I know what to work next. And then also the other thing that I'll do too is, like, if I have a little bit of string of thread left over, I'll find like the next piece and then put the sequins on. Like, so this one, I just had a little red thread left over. So I just put some sequins on and just put it back in the order. But then that way I don't have all these little bits of thread, basically. So let me show you where I'm at. I've gotten through 10 pieces and cut everything out, but this is where I'm at with it. This here took a long time, But yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. The other thing that I will do too, if I can figure out where more needles are, is I will grab some more thin needles for the beading and just keep the thread on there. Sometimes I do that too, like if I have an extra one. But that's where I'm at with my Christmas in July projects. Super excited about these. I cannot wait to just get further in. But okay, so I'm going to, oh, the other thing that I do too is I'll just take any little cases, like this is, it's a sprinkle mix, and I just repurposed it, and I have all my little sequins in there, each one, and then I just have this all together, so it's super easy. Everything that I need is right here to work on this project. That's it. So that's my Christmas in July. I want to show you guys the 2 prizes that I'm going to give away to 2 lucky winners. So the first prize is a Christmas prize, since it's Christmas in July. So I'm giving away a little notions pouch. It's a super cute one, you guys. So super cute little notions pouch, and in this notions pouch will come some stitch markers. They're in an antique bronze, and look at, like, they match the bag, so cute. So that, and then I'm also going to give a darning needle set as well. And there's 3 little needles in here, 3 different sizes. Let's see. I'm hoping that that shows up. I'm not sure though. But like, these darning needle sets are one of my most popular items in the shop. I feel like they're pretty affordable. It's 10 bucks for a little darning needle set and it comes with the 3 needles. So that will all be one prize to a lucky winner, and I will announce that at the end. The second prize, because it's Christmas in July, I thought it would be fun to have a more summery type of item. So I am giving away a mini pack. This is my Poppy mini pack. I'm no longer like dyeing yarn, but I do have a few sets of these up in the shop still, and a few other yarns up. And then it comes with a little stitch marker as well, or progress keeper. But these are 5 20-gram minis, so these will also go out to a 1 lucky winner and 1 lucky winner. So 2 winners announced at the end, but because we're talking about Christmas in July, I just thought I would go ahead and pop those in. The last thing that we got to talk about here is acquisition. So I'm gonna pop through these really quick. My stepmom went to Paris. I say Paris, I don't know if they stayed in Paris the whole time or if they went to other places in France. I can't remember. But either way, she was in France and she picked me up a couple things while she was there. So this is a 50-gram skein of Urth yarns. I love this color so much. It's a fingering weight superwash ultrafine merino, and I think it would just be so phenomenal. Like just do like some micro striping on a sweater or a t-shirt or something, but I love that. And then she got me this, this is Gusto wool. It's a sock set, so each one is 50 grams, but it's an 80-20 superwash blend. And then she got me this Malabrigo. This is just screaming hat to me. It is let's see. It's a sport, a DK sport. So, but I think that this would be such a phenomenal color. It's one of my favorite colors, like this burnt sienna, pumpkin-y orange kind of color. Oh, I love it. But like the different color variegations in there is just perfect. So super excited to use these. I also got from a friend of mine, Annie from Knits and Burls. She's doing a D-stash over on her Instagram page. So I think it's Knits and Burls D-stash. I'll put that info again down below and on the screen here. But she's got lots of phenomenal yarns that she is destashing. So definitely, if you are looking for destash yarn, go check her out. Her prices are pretty reasonable as well, and everything includes shipping, I believe. So, but this one here, I think this one might be a Woolberry. It's not a full skein, so she just sent it my way. That was so sweet of her. But I want to make a pair of shorty socks, and I have a shorty pattern that I want to try and cast on that has a heel tab and a like folded cuff. So I'm really excited about that, to try that. The last thing in my acquisition pile is these little needle stoppers. Again, they came from France from my stepmom. Aren't those so cute? But she brought some home for all of our knit ladies, and this is the one that I picked for some little penguins. So that is it, you guys. Keep up the Christmas in July posts. I love seeing what you guys are working on. It literally, every time I see your post, it gives me motivation to work on my Christmas project. So thank you guys so much for that. And I'm really hoping that you guys are inspiring each other with all of that as well. So cannot wait to see what else you guys have in store for July. I want to see how far I can get on all of my projects. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Have a great summer day if that's when you're watching this, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.